Hey, this is Adam Torres, and I'm here to tell you that it has never been easier to start your very own podcast. At Mission Matters, our goal is to amplify stories that matter. That means we want to help you start your podcast because your story matters. We can do this in 3 different ways. 1, join our podcast school and take a free or paid course. 2, visit our resources page where we've already figured out what you need, such as where to host your podcast. Or 3, heck, we can even do everything for you through our podcast agency, including editing for cheaper than you can do in-house. Oh, and no contracts, service is month to month. Get started by heading over to missionmatters.com and click on Start a Podcast. All right, now let's get into the show.
Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of the Mission Matters Innovation Podcast, your source for all things innovation. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at AskAdamTorres. Keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, missionmatters.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, today I have Samuel Tanios on the line, and he's president and CEO over at Human Elements. Sam, welcome to the show.
Adam, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Oh, man, so I'm excited to get into today's topic, Sam. So we're going to get into business owners are heroes, and I agree with that statement, first off, and I'm excited to hear your take on this. But before we go that route, let's start off with talking a little bit more about Human Elements. Tell us a little bit more about your company, please.
Yeah, absolutely. So Human Elements was founded on the idea that employees are assets to an organization. And our job is to help small businesses convert those assets into significant ROI and help them really grow their organizations and make them something special.
And that's awesome. It's a great mission, and I think it's also a great transition to go a little bit further into why you picked this topic. So business owners are heroes. I mean, where do you want to start with this one?
Well, I think, one of and this is probably timely because of what we're experiencing with the COVID situation, with a lot of businesses being shut down for so long. I think that a lot of people are really starting to realize, how much these businesses contribute to everybody's community. And, you talk about think globally, act locally. And, this is where the rubber hits the road with that. A lot of small businesses create the communities that where they exist. They are that backbone. They're generally the places where people will go to have their coffee or to, grab a bagel or have their morning omelet or, get their clothes cleaned or that's where they'll go for their evening entertainment or, their daily needs. All of those organizations are there, and that's what creates the community. That's what, that's what really creates neighborhoods. And I think, since we've been sheltered in place in many areas, sheltered in place, you lose touch with your community when you can't connect to them, when you can't walk into the businesses that or the places that you haunt. And you don't even really think of them as businesses anymore. You think of them as this is my place. This is where I go to get ice cream. This is where I hang out to have coffee and and read the day's news or meet up with friends. Or get my sit with my person that does my hair, but just happens to be somebody that I know now on a personal basis. These are things that we take for granted, and when they're gone, you realize just how important they are to you. And and the concept of business owners being heroes. I mean, these are people that, where they don't put their lives at risk, and I don't want to diminish what, our first responders do because, they truly, lay everything out on the line for all of us. But, these business owners, they put their livelihoods on the line. Their livelihoods are on the line. Their dreams and aspirations are what fuels our communities. And and there isn't really much in the way of support for them. When you've got Amazon, killing small retailers constantly, and of course Amazon, the great disruptor of an industry, but again, we have to look at what it does to our communities. Anything like that, and big box, et cetera. Those those don't necessarily add to our communities. They kind of destroy them a little bit. And these people are willing day in and day out take the risk and put themselves out there, put their families' well-being out there for that dream and to be part of a community. And they are really making an effort to be part of a community. And so that's, really why I think they're heroes, because, again, nobody's ever asked them to do it, but we need them to do it. And they do it happily and willingly, and they accept the consequences. And I think that, that to me is what makes up a hero. I mean, unless someone has another definition of what a hero is, putting others before themselves, I don't know. I would be hard pressed to find another definition of it that would be better.
Yeah, and I completely agree. The whole concept of what someone does, like I feel like, I didn't really understand it until I went out on my own, and then I was, I always had side businesses growing up, things like that. But until I really got out there, and I'm like, my paycheck was dictated by what I did in my work, and it was just like that. I'm like, wow, like I had so much more respect for some of the people that did, my dad's friends or other things that somebody may have owned a car wash or a small gas station or something else, and I'm like, wow, like, or a small grocery store or something, neighborhood grocery store. And I thought about it, like, in retrospect, when I kind of crossed over to that other side of business owner, and I'm like, wow, it's absolutely remarkable that person has woken up and and contributed to the community and done those things, whether it's through their chamber of commerce, all these other things, and kind of were the staple of community. And I didn't even know it. I really didn't even know it growing up. And then now I see it, and now that, for some, depending on where you're at, some of these things aren't open or otherwise, and you're like, wow, it's almost like a little piece of you's missing. It's just one of those things where it's heartbreaking in one aspect, and in the other aspect, it's like, man, I can't wait till they're back. Like, I just want to say hi. Like, I miss them.
Yeah, you just want to walk in and I mean, even just even if it was to buy a muffin, or to just even go in and take a look around, look at some of these unique little stores that are, you don't have them, and those are the things that make your neighborhood. And even if you never have bought from someplace, the fact that they're there there's a comfort level there, that that there is something unique about your neighborhood, and that's what makes up your neighborhood. That's what makes up your community. And I think we've lost a lot of that, certainly in the last several months. And I hope that, and it seems like that people are recognizing that, and I'm happy to hear that. But to your point, the loneliest place in the world is in the seat of a business owner, because it's all of the risk is on you. You are the first person to take the blame and the last person to get paid. And who in their right mind would want to do that unless somebody was committed to a passion and a dream?
No, well put, and completely agree. So, I mean, what are some of the things that you feel that we can all do out there that are, a lot of people listening, so whether business owners, entrepreneurs, executives, what are some of the things that you feel we can do as things start to maybe, small businesses start to open back up and all this starts happening, just to kind of acknowledge these businesses and to kind of help them get back to where they should be?
Well, I think as what I've noticed is when we've started to go back to some of these places now that they've been opening up around us, they've been thanking us for being committing to them and being committing and wanting to come back out and see them, and I think we need to do more of that. We need to go back out and frequent these places. Again, I mean, this is what makes our community. And you want to make an impact on your community. You want to make an impact locally. A lot of these organizations, will be gone if we don't commit to them and we don't support them. And if you're looking to do something for the community that you live in, or the communities at large where your employees might live, support their local businesses. Try and do something. And I think a lot of people are starting to see that, starting to do that, and a lot of these business owners have been trying to be creative about how they can, continue to connect with the communities. I think communities I think we need to figure out, clever ways that we can connect with them and support them. And they need us. And I'm looking at it. I'm putting on my consumer hat on. They need us just as badly as we need them. And we need to continue to try and support. There was a period of time where these stores were closed and these places were closed, and we couldn't go out to eat. We couldn't go out and shop. We couldn't really socialize that much, and and they suffered for it. They suffered tremendously for it. I think we need to figure out ways to creatively get back out there and support them as well. Because otherwise, if they're gone, our communities are dead as well.
No, it's well put, Sam. So that being said, final question. So if somebody's listening to this and they want more information about working with or learning more about what you and your team do over at Human Elements, question number one, what's the right types of businesses and or individuals that are typically a good fit to work with Human Elements? Question number one. Question number two, what's the best way for them to reach out and to connect with you and your team?
Sure. So we, at Human Elements, we're all about talent management and using that talent as an asset and a resource for the organization. So we like to work with organizations that are really looking for unique ways of being able to take that asset and make something unique out of it. So we're looking to work with business owners that are forward-thinking, that are looking to invest in that asset. That are looking to really see some meteoric growth out of their organization, but are willing to take the time and put in the effort to be able to develop that asset to the level that it can really generate significant ROI and really take them not just from A to B, but A to Z or A to double Z or what have you. Just the growth rate is really exponential when an organization can do that. The way that they would be able to reach us, certainly through our web presence, which is www.humanelements.us. And certainly happy to have anybody reach out to me directly. My email address is samt@humanelements.us. And we are looking to have conversations with really forward-thinking small and mid-sized business owners that, again, are really looking for a different way of being able to make a difference in their communities as well as for their organization.
That's awesome. Well, Sam, and what's the best way for them to reach out? Contact?
Oh, so my email address is 773-25. My phone number is 773-251-6776. And my email address is samt@humanelements.us.
And let's leave that one more time, because I have a feeling people were reaching for their pen. They're in their office and they're like, "Oh, wait, what's that guy saying?" It's always a pain to rewind these things. So let's say it again. Let's say it slow so people can write it down, please.
Yep, you got it. My cell phone is 773-251-6776. Always happy to take a call. Emails are great at samt@humanelements.us.
Fantastic. Well, Sam, really appreciate you coming on the show today and sharing more about all the great things that you're doing over at Human Elements, and of course, spotlighting and talking more about what doesn't get talked about often enough, in my opinion, which is the fact that our business owners are the staples of our community, and they really are heroes. So really appreciate you coming on and speaking on that. And to the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you got a lot of value out of this. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, leave me a review in the Apple iTunes store, and if you're watching this on our YouTube channel, Mission Matters Innovation, definitely give us a subscribe there, but also leave us some comments on the video. Love to know what kind of projects and things that you're working on. And Sam, thanks again for coming on the show.